the testimonies is that I recently was working with a youth. He was from Mexico, and he came to the U.S. I think around the age of 14 or 15 years old, and he started working in the agriculture fields in many different parts of the states, and then in different parts. He was anywhere from like Miami to Florida to Chicago. So he was all over the place. So in his situation, he was 15 years old, and the trafficker pretty much kind of like told him like, you can't, he would make him work long hours. He wouldn't get paid. He wouldn't get fed. He would have to sleep on the barn. And he was often always told like, if you try to leave, I'm going to call law enforcement. I'm going to call immigration so they can come deport you. You have to do what we need for you to do. And it got to the point where he got into an altercation with the manager, and he got arrested. So he was taken in custody, and they figured out he was here illegally, so they put him in the detention center, but they couldn't figure out his age, so then they put him in with the adults. So then what we have is a lot of immigration attorneys go into the detention centers, into the immigration detention centers, and they look for anybody that they can represent. And they came across this youth, and he shared their story, and they're like, if you want us to help you, you need to tell us the truth so that we can help you. There he revealed that he was underage and his full story. So they took him out of the adult detention center and put him in the juvenile detention center, and then he was let out free due to the help of the immigration attorneys, as they were able to say that he was a victim of trafficking. And then he was taken to a group home out in Miami. And he was out in Miami, but he had an open. The case was open here in Chicago.
Yeah, because here is where he was detained at first. Okay.
So he was in Miami, then he came back to Chicago, and he was working. I mean, till this day he was working. He lived out in the burbs. He came to the city, and he started going to ESL classes, started going to GED classes. Now he officially he obtained his visa. He just finished obtaining his visa, so that's really good because now he's able to stay here legally in the States, and after 3 years he'll be able to apply for residency, and then after 5 he'll be able to apply for his U.S. citizenship. So now he's in the process, even though he's been here in the States, I think for over 4 or 5 years.
So he's already 20?
No, he's 18.
Oh, okay.
He's 18. Okay. Yeah.
You guys found him when he was.
Yeah, we found him young. Yeah, and with him, he now. I mean, he was here in the States. He's been here in the States. Pretty much, he has no family, no friends. He doesn't know anybody. So he's in the process of bringing his mom and dad over. So I'm pretty excited about that because if you state that you've been victimized of a trafficking, you can go ahead and apply for visas for mom and dad to come over, as he doesn't have anybody here in the States to be with him. So Ecuadorian one.
Was it a woman or a man?
It's a woman. She was a victim of sex trafficking. She was brought to the States being told at a very young age. Now she's in her 40s. And she was brought to the States at a very, very young age, where she was told that she would come to the States to get a better education.
Also, like teenager type of age?
Yeah. Okay. So that she will get a better education. And when she got here to the States, that was not what she was presented with. Pretty much they told her, you're not going to go to school. You have to go, trade sex for money so that you can pay for your transportation from Ecuador to the States. If you don't, I'm going to go back and I'm going to harm your family. So at that point, being in a country where, you know, you're not used to the language and the culture, you become so defenseless, and that's what happened with her. So she was being trafficked out in the East Coast, and the thing that happened with her was that she was taken to different states to trade sex, which that's very common. They don't try to leave them in one location so that they have fewer chances of getting familiarized with the area and planning an escape. So she was always, you know, harmed physically, verbally, and emotionally so that she could stay there. And pretty much what happened with her was that there was raid. And, you know, before that, she was arrested a couple times. She became an adult and she was arrested a couple times for prostitution. So she had a lot of criminal background on prostitution. As an adult, you do get charged for that. And in one of those, she was caught in a raid with the FBI, and the group that she was with, they all became categorized as victims of trafficking, sex trafficking. And in her situation, she got so nervous that, you know, because usually what happens is they traumatize them. The traffickers kind of like lie to them and say if law enforcement were ever to, you know, detain you, you know, they're going to deport you, they're going to put you in jail forever. So she became really afraid that she did not know what to tell FBI, that they ended up letting her go, but she became more of a witness than a victim. And when she came here to Chicago, because she had to relocate, when she came here to Chicago, she met up with our organization. We started helping her out. We started connecting her with immigration attorneys, and now currently the immigration attorney is working with her to work with the FBI to express that she was not a witness, if not she was a victim. But the thing is that she's not ready because her story's all over the place. She cannot put it in chronological order because usually a lot of the victims refuse to go back and think about the past, and they have a very, very hard time putting the story in chronological order just because it is very, very, very traumatizing. So that's one big issue that I do see over and over with a lot of my victims, putting the story together. It's not easy. It takes a lot of work because a lot of it has to do with being nervous, remembering those things. A lot of them do go through a lot of trauma and they refuse to think back. They really want to pretty much erase it, block it out, but for the purpose of the visas, they have to interview with an FBI agent, and they have to be able to tell the story in chronological order. They cannot jump around, because if they do, then they're going to start questioning the story.